So some promising COVID-19 numbers, and the Premier says he's ready for the next step to help Ontario rebound financially from the pandemic. He is proposing the fast construction of critical infrastructure that he says will boost Ontario's economy and create thousands of jobs amid one of the worst financial hits the province has ever taken. Building transit across Toronto is still a top priority for the Ford government, despite what has been a difficult few months.
We're getting Ontario back on track. And it starts with getting shovels in the ground on major infrastructure projects.
The Premier wants to fast-track the construction of major transit infrastructure projects, including the 15-kilometre Ontario line.
Residents have raised concerns as to why nothing gets built and why it takes so long. We are making changes to finally address this.
Part of the plan is to speed up the construction of thousands of homes, including affordable housing that would be built alongside the new transit stations.
Fast tracking always raises red flags.
While it is welcome news that the government wants to prioritize these important projects, critics are calling for caution.
These are buildings that will define a neighborhood for many generations.
There are fears that important steps like community consultations will be eliminated from the process.
And I'm not talking about NIMBYism, but how the buildings are designed, whether it's harmonious, whether it contributes to the neighborhood. These are all important discussions.
But the government says waiting years for approvals is not an efficient or progressive way to move forward.
People are tired of waiting. We aren't going to take any shortcuts. We're going to cross the T's, dot the I's, but we're going to do it much quicker than the typical way government does business.
The province has already introduced the Building Transit Faster Act, similar legislation specific to transit that has been met with similar concerns.
I'm worried that this legislation will allow for secret backroom deals to be made that will benefit developers and not people first. We heard from neighbourhoods, residents, businesses and the city that expressed concern that building transit very quickly can cause unnecessary harm to neighbourhoods.
And another important announcement today. Starting at midnight tonight, the Premier says Leamington and Kingsville can move into Stage 2 of the province's reopening plan, joining the rest of Ontario. They were the final communities left behind.